Alright, so it's May here in Australia and I'm going to harvest my Kalamata olives. Haven't got many, should have a couple of kilos at least, but yeah, from the tree. Literally I'm going to pull them off one by one, and then when I'm done I'll show you how to preserve them. It is a bit of a labour of love, but you know what? It's worth it. No one's ever said to me they didn't like my olives if they like eating olives. So step one, let's remove all of these olives. Let's go. And notice they're all black. Okay, well after a couple of hours, I've got a small bucket full, which works to be about 2 kilos. So now will be the time that I'll show you. The next one will be on how to actually get them ready. Okay, what you're going to need now is your olives, another bucket to put them into, a glove, and a sharp knife. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take each olive and we're going to put one score into there, one cut. I mean, you can do 2, and if you've got a pipper, you can take the pips out. But if you don't score them, then you will never get rid of the bitterness. And speaking of the bitterness, you should try it before, like take a mouthful of one and see how bitter it is, because what we're trying to do now is take them from this bitter state to a point where we're going to be able to eat them without any of the bitterness. Okay, so I'll show you a couple as I'm doing them. Okay, there they are. I've got them in some water now. They've all been scored, so there's a small score on all of them. I tried one, it was as bitter as you wouldn't believe. So now for what I'm going to do is I've got some water in there. I'm going to wash them out a couple of times and then I'll do the next step. Okay, I've washed them out a few times and now they've got the water there, and I've got half a cup, just the normal half cup of salt. I'm going to pour the salt in and I'm going to push that through and give it a good mix. And what will happen is now over the next 4 to 6 weeks I'm going to be changing the water every 2 or 3 days and replenishing it with more half cups of salt. I'm going to continue doing that, like I said, for about 4 to 6 weeks. Then I'm going to pick up one of these olives and I'm going to try it to see how the bitterness is going. Once the bitterness is gone, it's ready to go to the next step. But like I said, this will be every 2 or 3 days. You will change the water and then you will make sure that, and like I've done there, I've just covered it to keep them all underwater and also not let things fall in. For, like I said, 3 to 4 weeks before you even think about testing it. So looking, today's Sunday the 8th, so towards the end of the month I will then do a taste test. Okay, so 5 weeks later, there's my olives. I've tasted them, the bitterness is gone. Now I've got what I'm going to need here: some olive oil, some different vinegars, because I'm going to make a bit different on both of them, and I'm going to keep them in nice clean containers. They've been washed and ready to go. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the olives into the containers and then I'll show you from there. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is take the white vinegar, pour it in to about there, 2/3, and now I'm going to top the difference up with the oil. Now you don't have to do it that way. If you want, you can just put with the salted water in the brine, and I'm going to do that with the apple cider vinegar. But yeah, and that's it. And then you're going to leave it for a few weeks for it to develop the flavour, and you've got them for a couple of years. And then in a dark part of your pantry, in a cupboard, don't have to put them in the fridge. And these 2 are from last year's crop, so we're still working through those ones, and they'll be ready in a few weeks. So good luck, bon appetit, and trust me, they come up beautiful. And if you want, you can put in rosemary or garlic or whatever else. I just like to leave them natural. Oh, there goes the light. All right, so all good.